Hey, I want to talk to you about the most underrepresented mental health issue going on in our society today that most people don't even recognize that they have it. They're not aware of it, but the majority of us carry this around and it ruins our relationship. So if you are divorced, you need to listen up. If you struggle with people pleasing, if you struggle in your relationships, if you tend to attract unavailable partners, this is why most of us are carrying around unhealed abandonment wounds. Now, you're probably saying, what are you talking about? Like, I don't have that. I had two great parents and they loved me. Listen, it's so much more than just being physically left behind. I'm telling you, so many of my clients come to me and we get to the heart of that childhood abandonment wound really quickly, even though they came from a two-parent household and they didn't struggle financially necessarily. But there are some underlying things that their parents did, again, subconsciously, not intentionally. I do believe that our parents are doing the best they can. Most of our parents are walking around with their own trauma and abandonment wounds themselves and just don't have the awareness to stop it. But now that we are more progressive and we do know more about emotional health and we're more aware, we can stop this generational trauma. We can stop this from passing on to our children. So, listen, maybe you are a child of divorce. Maybe you did have a parent who left you, like physically, for extended amounts of time. And that definitely will contribute to a lot of dysregulated nervous system, feelings of unworthiness, feelings of unlovability, and it sabotages our adult relationships. But other things that will sabotage your adult relationships are if you grew up in a household where there was a lot of instability, unpredictability. Perhaps you had parents that argued all the time, or you had parents who put conditions on their love. I had one of my um, clients that we really worked through his feelings of shame and unlovability, and he was kind of like resistant at first because his parents, he felt like, were great parents, loved him. It was a very financially stable home. But the truth was, when we dug down deep into the layers, there were some of the things they said were pretty traumatic. They were outwardly resentful of him as a child. They put conditions around their love for him and their approval of him. If he didn't earn a certain amount, if he didn't make certain grades, they removed their love, removed their approval of him. And so if you feel like you were loved conditionally, or there were conditions on the love you received, or you had to earn someone's love, that is a childhood abandonment wound. If you were in a household where a parent was emotionally unavailable, even for a short period of time. I've had clients who've come to me where their mother had gone through a deep depression and just wasn't there. And so they had to work through that. Or if you had a parent, again, this is another one, who had mental illness issues, substance abuse issues, alcoholism, any kind of um, household where there was chaos or instability, unpredictability, where as a child you may have felt unsafe and unworthy, you have unhealed childhood wounds. And the thing is, this will sabotage your relationships because you'll show up in a certain way in those relationships, or you'll attract certain people into your relationships to fill that void. We use our adult relationships to fill the void that we didn't get in childhood. And so we might be attracting emotionally unavailable partners. You might be attracting partners who are codependent and who will never leave you because you have a fear of being left, or you are emotionally needy or controlling and you need constant reassurance. And so that partner that gives you all that verbal reassurance, but may not be a healthy partner, and you've minimized a lot of other red flags. So I really want you to just really take some time and like look within and recognize, were there points in my life and my important developmental stages where maybe I didn't get the emotional support I needed from the caretakers that were taking care of me? What was it that made me feel like I'm not lovable, that made me feel lonely, that made me feel I'm not accepted, I'm not seen, I'm not heard? So just look within. I'd love to know what resonates with you. And I'd love for you to check out. I've got lots more videos, and I'm going to be talking much more in depth about how these wounds will sabotage your relationships and what you can do about it, because there are some conscious, intentional exercises that you can start implementing tomorrow that will completely shift your feelings of confidence and feelings of self-worth, that are actionable, conscious, intentional exercises that can completely change your life and completely change your relationships personally and professionally. So, we're going to be talking about that more. You can always go to my YouTube channel and check all that out as well. And again, I'd love to know, what are you struggling with? Where is it showing up in your life? I'd love to know what resonated with you after watching the video. Okay? All right.